To be honest, this was pretty much the best way to kind of start this entire Blazer crossover, which, if you think about it, it's kind of unheard of that literally in the final arc of the show, at least the second half of the show, we're doing an actual crossover between the last season and the current season, because I think the closest one that I remember it doing was like Decker, and Decker was 3 years ago, which is insane to think about it, that I've been covering Ultra week to week since Decker. I don't know how much it was the beginning of the crossover arc with Blazer. This episode was way more about Shu, with the Onyx being gone and no more like kaiju are coming outside of Earth. He was requested by the Space Science Division to return, and it was really cool to see how much he fully grew to love Skip, specifically the Hoshimoto City branch of Skip. He truly connected to them in, I think, a different level than the rest of the team that he has in the Science Space Division at the GDF. And I loved seeing that he's kind of starting to understand more and more that he allies way more their ideology than the GDF, which is great. Like, I loved that it really worked well with the returning Mogosion. I think it's supposed to be Mogosion. Like with Show seeing with the kaiju's attack, you would see the person's like deepest fear. This time it's literally leaving Skip. It's super fucking interesting, to be completely honest, and I just love that we got to see Yuma and Sho interacting way more, with like Yuma telling him why he joined Skip than the GDF, because to be completely honest, like he could have joined the GDF, but Yuma's ideology of wanting to understand is a lot more, let's say, pacifist. It's less, oh, let's, shoot the kaiju and ask question later kind of type of mindset that the GDF has. While in the end of the episode, this is the first time that not only Shu actually tells Yuma to call him by his first name, but also like he kind of like tells him that he joined the GDF because he was kind of scared and he wanted to protect Earth, but he starts to understand what Shuma is coming from, and he's starting to put Shuma's ideology maybe more and more within himself, which is like brilliant. And it shows how much those small interactions between all of the characters work, and they're fucking beautiful. Like, this weirdly was the beginning of a crossover arc, but it really felt like a Shu focused episode, which was brilliant. And I love that he kind of like requested that, yeah, like maybe I can join Skip now, but the Science Space Division do have a headquarters in Hoshimoto City, so he requested to stay there, which is like, that's great. While all of the Blazer stuff being pretty much a reaction to the crack that we saw in last week's episode, like last week, 2 weeks ago pretty much, which it is supposed to be a dimensional kind of portal, is great, while also bringing back all of the old kaijus is being explained by the reappearance of Zengil, with his entire story of, hey, all of the kaijus have souls, and most of the time you need to kind of like let them actually release to fully die, which was a brilliant story that I think like a lot of people really loved. It's one of my favorite episodes of Blazer as a season, which, hey, like being one of my favorite episodes and one of the most, I think, memorable episodes of the seasons that are not like fully tied to the main story of Blazer, being like V99 and the GDF and the Boshi and the inner working of what happened in 1999, like kind of the side content pretty much was great. Which it is kind of funny that if people don't know, that episode was directed by the same person that is the head director of art, which shows, because fuck, he loves Zengil, he fucking loves him. While I do love that we are getting slowly slow hints at the kind of main villain of like this small little section of the story, being, I think it's supposed to be Helnerak. I think it's supposed to be Helnerak. Not only with Zengil tells us his name, but also we can actually get to see him, which I do like that this is the first time that one of the kaiju's attack actually really get deflected by an Ultra, with Arc actually like thinking about like how can he beat the kaiju, and he kind of like looks at his blade and it looks like, oh my god, it's reflective, so he kind of twists the blades and we can actually see the monster's like deepest fucking fear, which is the kaiju that sent him, which looks cool. And now it is going to be interesting if that kaiju might connect to Blazer, and maybe that kaiju is also sending the past souls of the other kaijus that died, or it's going to be kind of like he can just tap into that and he sends kaijins out, because it would not really make sense to really fully connect it to Blazer, because like the story of Zengil and the entire story overall of the episode was very much kind of like, hey, we need to let those kaiju die. Their souls still exist, their soul and their resting place, you can, take it out and, rebirth it, but like they would always stay. So it's kind of interesting if it's going to be kind of like a metaphorical thing that's going to be connected to Blazer in the end or not. While it was fucking great to see like Zengil back, how much like we just got to see the suit, it seems that the actor couldn't really return to actually film the parts when he's in his human form, so he's pretty much dubbing over like a body double. But like, yeah, like it is going to be interesting moving forward how Scarred is going to connect to everything, if Gento is going to be there. I am interested because like the way that Ultra does produce it shows most of the time, it's like they kind of like when one show kind of ends on the writing department, they start filming. So pretty much when all 25 episodes of Blazer or Arc, they finished writing it, they moved and they start filming the show, and the show is kind of filmed out of order. So it is interesting, but in one point, Arc and Blazer were filmed at the same time, so I am interested to know if, just if, they got the actors for like one little cameo. Like I would like to see like everyone back. It would be great to see Teraraki or Gento, like one of them. Even like just give us like a small like role of like Gento like dubbing a line over Blazer's body, and we can have Blazer and Arc actually interacting, because I don't really see Arc's movie being a crossover, but hey, like we don't know yet how much. I don't really see it happening, but yeah, like I hope that the rest of the arc is not going to spoil the movie, because like Mill Creek, something happens, at least on the production end. I don't believe it's like subbing, I think it's just like purely production, so I'm hoping that the episode wouldn't like spoil that much of the Blazer movie, because I genuinely have no idea what the fuck happened in it. The only thing I knew is there wasn't like a post-credit scene with Arc. So yeah, this episode gets an A+. So what you thought about Ultraman Arc episode 16, comment below, let me know. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please, if you liked it, please like it. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do. Hit your subscribe button, become a subscribed button. Don't forget, you're the only one that can protect forest fires. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.